All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Hope you guys are having a great start to your new year. Hope you guys had a great break. If you did anything fun, go ahead and leave it in the chat box. Would love to hear what you guys did. We're going to go ahead and get started, kick things off for 2021 today. We're going to focus on just a little bit of technique. I know we've done this one in the past. If you're new to CubeFit Release, welcome. My name is Emily. CubeFit Release is designed to help relieve your sore, tender, achy muscles, and maybe even help with any pain or discomfort that you might be feeling. We focus on different areas each time of the class, and I always welcome suggestions. So if you guys are feeling something or you want to learn about something, go ahead and either direct message me on Teams or an email, or you can leave it in the chat box. All right, I'm going to stop blabbing and we will get started here. So let's go ahead and start with the chest muscle. Now, if you're new to a CubeFit Release, we always want to make sure that we're only on the muscles here. We never want to be on any kind of bony structures just because it doesn't feel good, all right? It won't necessarily break the bones, but it just doesn't feel good. So what we're going to start with first are the chest muscles. And so what we'll need is a wall here. What we'll do is we're going to find our collarbone. So go ahead, find the collarbone right here. And then we're going to go just below that collarbone in the fleshy area. So that's where we'll place our lacrosse ball. And then we're going to come up against the wall here. Now, when we're utilizing the wall for CubeFit Release, we want to remember that we're using just our legs to move us. So I'm using my legs to go side to side and up and down to really work out this chest muscle, all right? Never want to be using our shoulders or moving our arms or anything, just because we don't want to aggravate those areas any more than they already might be bothering us, right? So just remember that you're utilizing your legs to help move you through these motions. I always kid and say you get a little bit of a double whammy here. You get to release your sore muscles and you gotta kind of get to work out your legs here as well. Last thing that I will mention for CubeFit Release is that you're gonna find tender spots. And so what I mean by tender spots is while you're going through this motion, going side to side and up and down here, you're gonna find a spot that is a little bit more painful than the rest, or it might be an area that really makes you be like, ow, that really hurts. And so what we want to do on those areas is when you find that area, we really want to hold that pressure. So instead of really working it out, moving the ball up and down and side to side, when you find those tender spots, we want to hold that pressure, really breathe through it. Make sure to breathe, very important here. It can get pretty painful to the point that it does take your breath away. So just make sure we continue to breathe here. And then once you feel like the pain has dissipated, melted away, is really not there anymore, you can go ahead and continue to start moving up and down and side to side again. All right, so that's for those tender spots. We call that the 30-second rule. And so when you find that spot, make sure to give it the time and attention that it needs so that we are making sure that we release that area. Let's go ahead and switch sides here. Same thing with that chest muscle. You're just gonna find your collarbone. We're gonna go right below that collarbone in the fleshy area. Remember to avoid shrugging those shoulders. Just utilize your legs here to help move you through the motion, going up and down and side to side here. And then as always, when you find those tender spots, really hold that pressure, breathe through it. This area can be a little tender sometimes, just in general. So remember, you control the pressure here. So you're controlling how much pressure you're putting into the ball. And so what you do with that is with your legs. And so if you need less pressure, you're going to scoot those feet back in towards the wall. And say you're feeling really sore and you have some tender spots and you really need to add more pressure, you're going to scoot those feet back out away from the wall. All right, nice job with that. Let's go ahead and move on. I want to get to some other areas here. So what we're going to do here next, we're going to go to the back of the traps. So what I'll have you do, we're going to break things up left and right so that we don't cross over that spine. All right, like I mentioned, we never want to be on any bony structures. It's not like it's going to break them, it just doesn't feel good. And so what we'll do here, you're going to take that lacrosse ball, place it on the back of that trap, and then you're going to come up against the wall here. And notice I kind of have a little bit of a lean. I'll try and go to the side here. I have a little bit of a lean towards my body. And so that's just so that I can really apply that pressure. And so we're going from either left or right of the spine all the way out into just that back part of that shoulder here. So just make sure you're getting the whole entire trap. Again, you're utilizing your legs to add this pressure instead of shrugging your shoulders and trying to move it that way. So just your legs here, going side to side, up and down, really whatever feels good to you. So really tune into your body here in CubeFit Release and really listen to what it needs, what it doesn't need, maybe the amount of pressure that you might need for the day. It might be different each class that you come, depending on, the soreness in your muscles or just what's going on in your body. And then a quick little reminder while we're here, just to drink a lot of water when we finish this class. When we go in and do this, we release a lot of toxins in our body. And so what we want to do is we want to flush it out afterwards. So just make sure you're getting a good amount of water after this class and just throughout your day in general. Super glad to be back. It has been a crazy, fun break, but it is great to be back here on classes, great to be back working. We have a lot of great stuff coming to you guys this year in 2021. Hopefully we'll see you guys here at the facilities soon. Can't get any hopes up or promises when that will be, but I am confident that it will be sooner rather than later. Again here, every area that we're on, when you find those tender spots to really hold that pressure, I'm on one right now and it just reminded me to tell you guys to hold that pressure when you guys find them. Good, let's go ahead and switch sides here. Nice job with that. I don't know about you guys, but I've been writing down some 2021 goals that I want to accomplish this year, personal, professional, all that kinds of stuff. I've also just been reflecting on the past year, 2020, despite all of the challenges and the changes and just the chaos that we had. I am very grateful for all of the experiences that got me here today. There were a lot of learning lessons, a lot of growth opportunities in so many different areas. And I hope you guys also look at it like that. If you ever are struggling though, and you just want someone to talk to, especially someone that you don't know, like me or anybody else on the team, you know that you can always reach out to us. We're more than happy to set up a Zoom call or a phone call and just listen. Just be a listening ear. Sometimes that's all that people need. I was talking to a friend the other day and she was like, I hate to burden people with what's going on in my life because I know everybody has a lot going on. And I just told her, with me, it's a safe place for her to talk to me because I don't look at it as a burden. I look at it more as a learning experience. Everybody's going through different things. And I think by sharing each one another's stories that you can really learn something from one another. And, it doesn't have to be your burden. You can really just be there as a listening ear and maybe even suggest some things that might help with them. All right, nice job with the traps. We're going to move on to the rhomboids. I know I'm going over a little bit of time. We probably will within these next couple weeks, just because I know I have some new people and I want to make sure I'm explaining things in full. So we're going to move on to the rhomboids. So the rhomboids are located, I know you can't see my shoulder blade, but my shoulder blade's right here, and then I have my spine. So we're going to go just in between that area. So just in the fleshy area. Remember, we want to break this up left and right because we never want to cross over that spine. And then what we also want to do here is we want to give ourselves a nice big hug because you deserve it, of course, but it also helps open up that area. So it allows the lacrosse ball to really get in that fleshy area, and it allows the lacrosse ball to stay away from the spine and that shoulder blade, those bony structures that we were talking about. So go ahead, give yourself a nice big hug. And then from here, I'm really moving myself up and down, and then I'm going slight movements side to side because I'm being cautious of that shoulder blade and that spine. And then as always, when you find those tender spots, to really hold that pressure, breathe through it. I know sometimes it can be pretty painful, so just make sure to hold there and just breathe. Remember, avoid shrugging those shoulders. I almost caught myself trying to do it there. Just utilizing our legs here to go through the motions. Good, nice job. Let's go ahead and switch sides. So same thing, you're gonna place that lacrosse ball just in between that shoulder blade and that spine. And then we'll turn around, come up against the wall. Again, give yourself a nice big hug, and then continue on with moving up and down, slight movements side to side here. This will be the last area that we're gonna be on for the first CubeFit release class of 2021. Thank you guys so much for coming. I really appreciate it. Love having you guys on. As always, like I've mentioned before, if you guys have any suggestions, you want to learn something, or you're confused about something, you have any questions, feel free to reach out, whether it's through this Zoom chat right here, or you can reach out to me personally at emily.mance@hp.com. Love having suggestions from you guys. Makes me planning class a little bit easier, and it makes it a lot more fun when I get to customize it to you guys. We got about another 30 seconds here. You might have a tender spot on either of those areas that we hit today that you just really didn't work out. I suggest that you go back later this afternoon or this evening and go ahead and try that again and get to that area. Sometimes it just needs some time and attention, and that's okay. It's a great way to break up your day, just adding a little bit more movement and some recovery into your day. All right, everybody, come out of that nice and easy. Give yourself a pat on the back. Nice job today. My name is Emily. I hope you guys had a great time today in CubeFit Release. If you guys have any questions, concerns, please leave them in the chat box. If not, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Happy New Year. It's great to see you guys. I see a lot of new names and faces. It's so good to have you guys on. We'll hope to see you guys here later in the week. Have a good one.